and starchy vegetables is well known. Those folks have higher glucose, but interesting, fruits, people who ate a lot of fruits as their major source of carbs had lower. That's because of the fiber that's in there that helps them. Turns out most people don't get enough sleep, and so those who slept longer actually had lower glucose. But some of the things we could tease out were, when should you exercise? If you look at the party line out there from various studies, well, you should exercise in the afternoon to get your best benefit. But we found that that depends on the form of dysregulation you have. If you're muscle insulin resistant, you actually get better benefit by exercising in the morning for glucose the next day.
If you're muscle insulin resistant.
Right.
Okay.
So to unpack that a little bit, so you probably know that, you eat something, you get glucose if it's sugary, and your insulin obviously, helps control that, stimulates your cells to take that up. And if you're insulin resistant, especially muscle insulin, muscle is a major consumer of glucose, means you're not taking up your glucose right. So you're insulin resistant and you don't take up glucose and you wind up with high glucose spikes. But there are other forms of diabetes. So to break this down, or glucose dysregulation, there are people who don't make insulin early in life. That would be called type 1. You can still become insulin deficient and making insulin later in life for type 2. But you can also have what are called beta cell defects. So insulin's produced by your pancreas, your beta cells. And I myself, am type 2 diabetic, I have a beta cell defect. Took me a while to figure that out, meaning I make insulin fine, my cells respond, but I don't release it from the pancreas. And then there's things called hepatic insulin resistance. So your liver is insulin resistant and other forms as well, fat insulin resistance as well. So we've now gotten into dividing up diabetes. So, basically, classically, people will group people into type 1, which is 10% of people, or type 2, which is the other 90% of diabetics. Well, it turns out that's a really broad category. That can easily be subdivided into what we call subphenotypes, these different forms of glucose dysregulation. And we think that's a big deal because it affects the drugs you take. So, for example, I am a beta cell defect, and I didn't respond. I went through exercise, used to be a runner, and I shifted to weight training about, it'll almost be 9 years soon, with the idea of building muscle mass, which failed miserably. My glucose was gradually going up, so I shifted to weight training. I gained 10 pounds of muscle mass. I do whole body MRI, 20 of them in the last 8 or 9 years. And I basically did gain 10 pounds of muscle mass. That had no effect on my glucose control. And the reason for that was that I'm not muscle insulin resistant.